There are rumors circling online that Karim Adeyemi of Borussia Dortmund is available for a very affordable fee. You're seeing everything from 30 to 40 million euros for the 22/23-year-old. Now it's well known I'm a big fan of Karim Adeyemi. I've been on the hype train for a while, as you can see on screen. I believe he's electric, he's dynamic, he's explosive, he's very intense. He has this ability to turn defense into attack on the transition very quickly. He might not appear the most muscular of individuals, but he doesn't get bounced off the ball easily. He's blessed with great pace. He's the right age profile. He's versatile and he has a willingness to learn. And for 30 to 40 million pounds, he could be a player that Mikel Arteta could work his magic on. Now, I must admit, I like to provide balance. Karim Adeyemi, he's played in the Champions League final. He's a German international and he's performing for a big club in Borussia Dortmund. So it might come across as very harsh what I'm about to say, but I don't think he's nowhere near what he was projected to be at this age. I'm not saying that means he has to be a world beater. I don't think his decision making has improved. I don't think his form is of a certain level. I don't think his reliability is of a certain level. And I must admit, he's an incredibly frustrating player, considering what he used to do in the youth levels. His statistics might not be kind to him, but I would describe him as a cold-hearted killer in front of goal. And as much as he's frustrating, and he'll be the one to make Mikel Arteta be even bolder than Pep Guardiola by the time he's done with him, I genuinely think he's a decent player and he could add something to Arsenal. And it speaks volumes that despite what I'm saying, he's been linked with Chelsea, Arsenal, Juventus, so on and so forth, people. Now, he's done well, as I said, to play for both Dortmund and Germany, but he hasn't he hasn't hit the projected heights, that would be expected. And I do think he would need a lot of work. He needs to polish those edges. And he's one of those players I genuinely believe you're either going to go up the gears now in the next 18 months or so, or this is how you're always going to be. He's a great dribbler. He's got a lovely left foot. He's got great balance. He's very scary in 1v1 situations. I do think he can be very spontaneous and unpredictable. Now, if we could find a balance between him being spontaneous, unpredictable, and capable of moments of madness with making him cold-hearted and calculated in the final third, we're laughing. He can play up front as well as on the left and the right-hand side. He'd be a perfect player to add into the mix of our attackers, people. As I said, people, he does have a great eye for goal, in my opinion, even if statistics aren't very kind in that regards, people. Across the last season, he made 34 appearances in all comps, and he got a total of 5 goals and 2 assists. Now, he did have some injuries, but you get the point. I don't think he's a level raiser per se. I think he'd be more of a floor raiser, but he could be molded into a player that could help raise the ceiling. If we could scratch the surface of his potential to have Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, Karim Adeyemi, and a bunch of others, it would be great stuff. At 22, I do think he has stagnated a bit, but perhaps Mikel Arteta is the man to get his career back on track and allow him to hit the projected heights he was expected to be at 17, 18 years of age. Maybe a slight exaggeration, but such is his ability and his potential, and what everyone was saying, where you look at the young stars of tomorrow, the Yalmaus, the Pedris, the Bellinghams, the Musialas, the Verts, the list goes on. He was Vinicius Jr. He's expected to kind of be in those conversations, people. He does have international experience. He does have top 5 league experience. So he isn't completely raw. But when I look at Karim Adeyemi, I must admit there's a degree of rawness. 45 Bundesliga appearances in total with 9 goals. Decision making and end product must improve once again, or now it never will. He could be, in short, people, a cheap and versatile option for Mikel Arteta to work his magic. He's played 232 career games, people. Not all of that is at first team level, as you can see on screen. He's got 85 goals and 52 assists in as many. In the Bundesliga, as I just said, he's got 45 appearances, 9 goals and 7 assists. In the Austrian Bundesliga, 27 goals and 17 assists in 68. In the Champions League, he's got 8 goals in 29 appearances. So there is something there, people. It just hasn't been brought out, in my opinion. And I think Arsenal could do a lot worse than him. And I genuinely think if he is available for any sort of price, Arsenal should have a look. Now, again, for me, extremely frustrating. Arteta has shown with the Kai Havertz's and many others that he can make some unpopular decisions and improve them. Again, some players are held in higher regards, but Saliba, Martin Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe once upon a time, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Benjamin White, Kai Havertz. The list goes on of players that Mikel Arteta has taken to higher and higher heights, even Declan Rice. So surely he could work his magic on a 22-year-old who's got a decent foundation and has found himself by the wayside. And for 30 to 40 million pounds or euros, whatever the denomination is, I genuinely think Arsenal could do a lot worse. I'm a big fan of his, but I must admit, again, when I think of him, and I've probably said it a billion times, he's incredibly frustrating. But for the price, there's a lot of upside, and you'd imagine we could make our money back in that regards. Again, he can play on the left, up front, as well as on the right hand side, and I think he would make us stronger. Again, we might bring in a striker, we might bring in a versatile wide forward, we might bring in both. I'm of the belief now that we're not going to get in a striker, so why not bring in a versatile attacker, people? So for what it's worth, that's all I've got to say. Let me know your thoughts on Karim Adeyemi potentially signing him. Do you think he's the answer? Don't you think he's the answer? Check out the rest of the other videos, and most importantly, people, stay safe, stay blessed. One love. Peace.